Doomslayer, often called Doomguy in early games, originates as a lone space marine battling demons on Mars moons in Doom 1993 and Doom 2. Later lore retconned that after those battles, he closed the Hellgate, returned to Earth, and ultimately remained trapped in Hell to keep demons at bay. An extended epilogue, Doom 64, describes him killing the mother demon and choosing to stay in Hell to prevent another invasion. In Doom 2016, he is reawakened from stasis on Mars to confront a demonic invasion of Earth, with the game's logs and codices revealing that he arrived mysteriously and slaughtered demons with inhuman ferocity. According to Doom Eternal's lore, centuries earlier he was found by the Argent Nernite Sentinels after somehow wandering into that medieval realm. Mistaken for a feral invader, the Outlander was bloodied and near death, yet he proved his worth in the Great Colosseum by fighting off hordes of demons. The Watchers cheered rip and tear at his battle cry, and his unstoppable rage earned him respect. This ancient war in the holy city of Argent Nur, seen in Doom Eternal Codex, cements his origin as a legendary warrior in a medieval context. Despite some confusion, ID Software staff have clarified that all numbered Doom games are in the same overarching continuity. Doom 3 is now often treated as part of that line via a later timeline connection. Psychological profile, rage, and resolve. Throughout the series, the Slayer is defined by relentless rage and single-minded purpose. In Doom 2016, survivor logs repeatedly describe him as almost supernatural. Dr. Elena Richardson muses that maybe he is a god. Maybe he represents humankind's rage, their will to persevere. He is uncompromising, a relentless being of violence. In one log, she notes he cut through demons like a sickle through a field, his fury far surpassing theirs, and concludes, he is more than just a man. He is Doom. Other broadcasts call him an avenging angel and a mythic savior, the steel-barreled sword of vengeance for humanity. This echoes a deep psychological drive. The Slayer has no known motive beyond destroying demons at any cost. He shows no fear or doubt, never hesitates, and is seemingly indifferent to collateral loss. Trauma is implied by the scale of violence he endures. Survivor accounts suggest he fights through immense loss, burning cities, slaughtered comrades, with unyielding fury, implying a brutal coping mechanism. Doom Eternal even hints that his silence may mask a fractured psyche. The flashbacks in Eternal suggest that this silence may be a result of insanity. In short, the Slayer embodies pure rage as righteousness, a psychically scarred hero who channels his trauma into ceaseless vengeance. Moral code and isolation. The Doomslayer's moral code is simple: annihilate evil without mercy. He never negotiates or spares demons. To him, the only crime is to be of hell. In Doom Eternal, demons themselves acknowledge his status. He is arguably the only figure Hell hates more than any other, sometimes even called its Dark Lord due to his unmatched slaughter of its armies. He treats no alliance as safe. Even UAC scientists are cautioned not to trust him, and he acts alone. This self-imposed isolation is by design. He neither speaks nor forms relationships. His silence is legendary. No intelligible words are spoken in any game, and enhances his enigma. When he finally removes his helmet in the Ancient Gods, Part 2, the moment is framed as a reluctant but necessary revelation. Until that point, he is a mute avatar of war. In gameplay terms, the player projects onto him, but narrative cues suggest he may be utterly alone in purpose, a creature of wrath, too consumed by grief or fury to connect with others. As Dr. Richardson noted, the only thing Hell's hordes fear is him, implying he stands utterly apart. Evolution across games. In the 1993 to 2000 era, Doom I/2/64, the Doom Marine is a straightforward avatar, a last survivor fighting off sudden invasions. His personality is bare bones. The story is conveyed by text screens and manuals, But even then, hints of vengeance appear. Classic lore suggests demons killed his family and pet bunny. Doom 3, 2004, rebooted the scenario with a new marine and a horror focus, but modern writers treat it as a parallel timeline. ID states only all numbered Doom games count as one narrative lineage. The 2016 and 2020 Doom games reimagine the Slayer as a near-mythic warrior. In Doom 2016, his arrival on Earth halts the invasion. After the credits, he is trapped in hell. In Doom Eternal, a century later, Earth again falls under supernatural attack, this time by corrupted angels and demons. Slayer's role expands. He not only exterminates demons worldwide, but even fights angels and heaven itself to seal hell's portals. By the finale, he usurps the power of the demon icon Davith, kills the so-called Father, the god of his universe, and becomes an immortal titan rather than a mere man. The Ancient Gods DLCs extend this. He begrudgingly slays the remaining primordial gods of hell. The tone has shifted from run-and-gun action to full-blown cosmic epic. The Slayer went from stranded marine to divine champion. Doom, The Dark Ages 2025, goes further. Set centuries earlier, it depicts the Slayer as a knight-like champion of Argent Nur, under demon mind control and then reborn. Each game alters tone, from the gritty, occult-tinged horror of Doom 3 to the metal-fueled intensity of Doom 2016 to the mythic grand fantasy scope of Doom Eternal and beyond. Throughout, however, the Slayer's core remains, an unstoppable force for which evil is the only enemy. Mythological archetypes and symbolism. The Doomslayer is steeped in mythic imagery. He is repeatedly framed as a divine instrument of vengeance. In Doom 2016, broadcasts, ordinary survivors call him a myth, a sort of avenging angel. After the final battle, they speak of the Slayer as a godlike figure in a war of biblical proportions. This evokes comparisons to religious warrior legends, angels or gods of retribution. Developers consciously tapped such influences. Creative director Hugo Martin described the Dark Ages as channeling a sword and sorcery vibe akin to Conan the Barbarian. And executive producer Marty Stratton cited King Leonidas and Spartans as inspiration for the medieval feel, stand and fight like a gladiator. Leonidas was a big touchstone. Indeed, the Slayer's role is like an eternal champion from myth, an immortal berserker through whose arms vengeance of the gods flows. His narrative arc incorporates classic vengeance tropes. He is the wrath of God against hell, the lone immortal curse to forever hunt evil. Symbolically, he parallels figures like the biblical avenger, the hammer of divine justice, Norse Ragnarok heroes, unstoppable during end times, or the eternal champion motif of fantasy. For example, after Eternal, he transforms into a cosmic titan, reminiscent of mythic figures who transcend mortality. Some codex entries even hint that higher forces, the Maker gods, saw him as a purging weapon. In gameplay and lore, he is virtually a demigod of slaughter, a one-man apocalypse. His silence and relentless action reinforce this. Like many mythic heroes, he speaks only through deeds, not words. Hey, just a quick word, if you like this content, subscribe. It's free to do, why not? Like button is down there too. And yeah, let's continue. Silence, identity, and isolation. The Slayer's lack of a personal name or dialogue makes him cipher. This silence accentuates his isolation and mystique. Nearly every narrative piece labels him only as Doom or Slayer, not a man. He carries no known personal artifacts, aside from his armor, and displays no humanizing traits. The only glimpse of personal identity comes in the Ancient Gods. Part 2, when for the first time, he gingerly removes his helmet to reveal himself, an extremely rare moment breaking the silence. Until then, his facelessness turned him into a vessel for the player and for legend. Lore hints that he may even prefer anonymity. Demons call him by title, not name, as if he were a force rather than a person. Psychologically, this underscores the idea that he has sacrificed any normal life for endless war. In summary, the Doomslayer is characterized by unremitting rage, unwavering purpose, and mythic solitude. Canon lore consistently portrays him as beyond human, a nearly divine warrior driven by trauma and duty. His evolution from silent soldier to cosmic revenant draws on archetypes of vengeance and penance. Whether dubbed a god of war by survivors or a dark lord by demons, the Slayer stands as an embodiment of eternal wrath, an icon of retribution in one of gaming's most brutal legacies.